Hey folks, we are back again for another Keep It or Refund It take. My name is Kapsa, and you are watching Chaos Brigade. Okay, so we have been waiting for this one for a while. So who we are here in this episode? Well, we are still Henry, the useless peasant, but this time with a little bit more competence. So let's dive into this. First of all, in a nutshell, this is a great game. Whoever played the first one, they would be happy here, dudes. It's like a bigger sequel with better graphs. Well, would you be surprised? Yeah, baby, NVIDIA 5000 series. Wait, what? Anyways. So this is a pretty hardcore RPG though. I must say that. This time the adventure continues just right after the original game. But I mean right after, I mean seconds after the original game. If you need to catch up, we will include a link in the description here, where you can watch a recap of the main story from the first episode, folks. So we have an OMFG long intro here, and pretty long pre-sequel. But hey, don't give up. You will have a cutscenes all day long, like there is no tomorrow, folks. This game will take your time. What I mean, it's really a time sucker. But I'll get back to this later on. Are you the person who you want to be the good guy, or a thief, or a guy who enjoys being drunk and having bar fight every night and wake up the next morning with no clothes on? Wait, what? Well, you can, because this is a real RPG, an RPG that you have never played before. However, I'm not going to get into too deep because this video will be 3 hours long. And that's what we don't want, folks. This second game is about 25% bigger than the first game in terms of size, but double of the content. Everything is just more. The first game had 800,000 words. This one, the second, has 1.7 million. Let's talk about the gameplay mechanics here for a second. This has been overhauled and remastered completely in so many ways. The crime system, the AI is just so much better now. Everything is just better. Let's for example, if you go into somebody's house and you leave the door open, the NPC will actually go in and investigate it, because they know that they haven't left the door open. So that to me often is the mark of a good in-depth RPG game, folks. So guys, let me tell you how I feel about this game after about 50 hours of gameplay, what I like and what I don't. Let's start with the good part. I love how the crafting system works in this game. Let's say as a blacksmith, you're actually forging that fucking sword. You're hitting it. You're hitting that beautiful piece of iron with your hammer that you have to warm up after. You have to warm up that masterpiece in a forge, then cooling it down. It's a complete minigame. It's not like Elder Scrolls Online, where you clicking on buttons and your character does everything himself. And I love hunting in this game, although I am still suck at it. Well, everybody's going to suck at this game at the beginning. Trust me on that, folks. I love the thievery. It's so much fun. The lockpicking itself, that minigame, is so much fun. It's so satisfying when you actually succeed on these lockpicking minigames. I also love exploring the map. There's so much handcrafted content. I guarantee you can find something new to do every single day for a month. One of my favorite realistic features of the game that you have to sleep, you have to eat in order to function. While sleeping, you're getting hungry. If your Henry is dirty and stinky, people around you will notice that, and sometimes they don't even talk to you until you get yourself cleaned. How about that? And not to mention, just like in every other RPG game, sorry folks, your equipment is getting damaged, it's getting used, you have to repair that. You have to repair your bow, you have to repair your armors, you can have repairing kits on yourself. But listen to this, if you are choosing to not repairing your sword for any reason, you can get ending up with a stick in your hand, because your sword is completely broken. You've got a wooden stick in your hand. I've never seen anything like this in game history. And let me tell you a quick story. One of my favorite stories of this game. So when you start, you quite suck on everything. Like literally, everybody is going to kill you, and everything. So you end up in this town called Troskowitz. That's what I think. That's what I believe. That's how you pronounce that, Troskowitz. But anyway, you poor. You have nothing, almost nothing. You got about 5 groschen, I believe, if I remember, about 5 groschen, which is enough to buy probably 5 pieces of chicken, right? So you actually thinking about how you're going to make some money. Well, the game lets you to choose your path in the beginning. Which way you're gonna go? Well, I went for blacksmithing. So I thought, like, okay, I'm gonna craft some sword, as I've been told by my master that actually he can buy the pieces that I've been crafting. Oh, I was like, okay, that's good. Let's make some money here. Well, I ended up crafting so many swords, but basically, he paid about 10 groschen for each of them, and well, then I realized, oh, hold on, I have to buy the crafting materials to make more. So once I bought more of these materials, then I ended up making pretty much about 5 groschen per each sword, which is pretty crap, because as I already mentioned, that in this game you actually crafting a weapon. You're not just clicking on buttons and stuff like that. So that evening I went back to the city. More precisely, I went to the pub to have some alcohol and some more chicken, right? And somewhere around 10 o'clock-ish, I noticed that people are actually leaving the place. It was dark already. So I ended up following actually a person to them home, actually to her home. And what I noticed that night, that you can actually follow almost anyone home. And the second thing I noticed, the door locks on them homes are usually, almost all the time, are easy or very easy locks that you can open easily. So I went for it. Oh, okay, let's do that. Let's open this lock. When I realized, fucking hell, I don't have any lockpick on me. Don't worry, folks, I get to the point soon. So then I had to go back home and buy a lockpick from the seller, which is actually the blacksmith guy where I live. Well, the thing is, it was still somewhere around midnight, so these guys have their own life. They're going to sleep, right? So you can't just do that. So you go into bed, have a sleep for the next morning until you can actually buy this fucking lockpick from the guy. But while you're sleeping, you're getting more hungry and hungry. I had no money for food, not much more money to have food, and I knew that I had to spend my money on the goddamn lockpick there, right? So next morning I bought that lockpick, went back to the guy, and the very small amount of money that I had again, bought some chicken from the pub. So I waited again for the next evening, and I followed the same person again, because they, of course, they go back to their home again. Keep it in mind that not every single night you cannot find the same person every single night. This doesn't work like that. Some days they're just not going to the pub. They're going somewhere else. Who knows in this game? But anyway, so I followed back the person, and I got into the house. It was really easy to pick that lock, and you can. And that was the point where I actually realized that you can strangle these people while they are asleep. Well, actually, I will give you a tip. You should wear some sort of a helmet that cover your face, because that, just be on the safe side. But anyway, you can strangle anyone, and they are harmless. So after you strangle these people, you can steal their money. You can actually steal your own money back from someone who you paid for earlier in the day in a shop. It's great. So I went back home. Next day, I bought some more chicken, some beef, whatever. I had some money. I had way more money than I ever had before, right? was great. And the second side of the story, when you do this over and over again, you might not gonna be able, because in a few days time these people will have they restock, so basically the game reset them, they will have money again. But the locks, they doesn't work on the same. Sometimes you just can't even open the same easy lockpick door, and you're making noise, and you actually you end up waking them up. It's great. You can't just do the same thing over and over again, because something will happen. Some other people wake up. The other night, some another guy from the neighbors went to get some water from the well, so she noticed me. She called the guard on me. It's great. But this is the point, guys, where I have to bring up the part that I don't like about this game, and that is actually the thing, that this is seriously time consuming. Okay, so just imagine you have a plan. You play this game as an RPG, what it's intended to do. So you wake up in the morning, right? You're gonna have to make some money somehow. You either go to hunting, or you wanna do some blacksmith job, or you might work for the miller. Whatever path you choose, but you have to eat for that. You have to be well rested for that. You have to travel to these places, and keep that in mind. If you travel to these places either on your horse, back on your horse, or you're walking, while you're traveling, you can be actually attacked by bandits, and that's actually happens quite often. And the beginning of the game, you're just getting screwed. Everybody's fucking kill you, even one person, even a cat is capable to kill you somewhere in a bushes. So, and then what's happened? You're gonna click on a load game again. You click on a load game again. There we are, mate. There we are. If you choose the path that I just mentioned, that you're going to sneak around houses at nighttime, you steal some stuff. As I said, you can't do that forever, because stuff will happen. You won't be able to do the same shit over and over again. There are some stuff, of course, in the game that you can abuse. I don't want to get into that, because this stealing mini game, I'm not abusing it actually. But here we are. It's really time consuming, and it's really hard when you have only an hour and a half to play this game, folks. You're getting home after work or after school, because you're still studying university, or you got to do some sports activity. You got 1.5 an hour to play, and from this 1.5 an hour, you keep dying for 1 hour and 15 minutes, and you end up doing nothing. And not to mention that, folks, this is supposed to be an open world RPG, right? Well, let's bring this up. And when you start this game, you're gonna be pretty much following a very linear route, like a train track, for 2.5 an hour. You can't do your own choices, because the game forces you to get to a certain stage where you can actually do some stuff. And after that, if you wanna get ahead in a story, because you wanna level up a few bit, doing side quests is not gonna level you up as well. So you're gonna have to get yourself into the storyline a little bit. But then again, later on, in about 1 or 2 hours in a story, it will lock you in again in some places where you cannot leave. So it forces you to play the game however they want you to play the game. So it's not an open world game again. Folks, in the first 10 hours, that happened to me about twice, where you just can't do. You want to get home from work and want to sit down, but you can't, because you're forced to do that gameplay that they trying to get into. So you might get into some prison where you do the missions in order to get out. So just keep that in mind. Saving the game is a bit clunky, I would say. You can sleep pretty much any bed until you actually get caught, and they might call the guard on you or just kick you out from the bed. So it has to be your bed. But even in case if you find a bed where you can sleep, or a bed that you actually paying in pubs, you can't save the game. because it's not your own bed. So you can only save the game in your actual bed. Well, during your gameplay, you're gonna have a few of these locations where you can save your game. But well, seriously? So in order to be able to save the game whatever you want and create a save file, you have to have a potion for that. You have to create these potions. Okay, I know that. You can. That is an option to save the game. Let's go that way whenever you want, because if you click on save and exit in the main menu, the game will quit into your desktop or whatever platform you're playing from, and you have that specific save file. It's usually a red color save file in your menu, and you can go back to that. But what a waste that you have to exit the game to use this option, and there is only one, so it cannot create multiple save files. You just go back to the last one again, the last one. So it's a bit, you have to think about this. Do you really want this? Do you really want this? Do you have the time for this kind of stuff? Don't get me wrong here, folks. This is a great game. This is really a masterpiece here. But you have to have the time for this. What I suggest, whoever wants to buy this game, you haven't bought it yet, take a holiday. Book a week holiday and sit down and play with it. So what do I think about this game? Well, folks, this is definitely a keeper. I would say that you can play this game through a couple of times, because once you can go to be a good guy, and then the next time you can go for the worst choices that you can go for the game. You can be the bad guy, and you can see the consequences, because you won't see the same people. The game take you completely somewhere else. You don't even have the same quests anymore. You got different quests. It's interesting. But anyway, whatever I said here, folks, take it with a pinch of salt. Okay, it's your money. Take your chances. Thanks for watching, and guys, I'll see you in the next one.